Hello, everybody. Uh, how are you today? My name is Merle. I'm a singer. I'm the relationship miracle worker. And I've been married over 50 years to the same man, happily. Well, sometimes I talk about year 19, but we won't go there today. Uh, so I figure if there's one thing I'm an expert on, it's relationship. And so every Thursday at 11 o'clock, I do a Facebook Live with Patty Negri, a psychic medium, renowned. And at noontime, I do Merle's Pearls of Wisdom. And guess what? This is noontime or a couple minutes after. And I have a topic for today. And my topic for today, I think, is interesting. You may find it interesting as well. It is it a lousy job, or do you have a lousy marriage? They both work really kind of the same way. So is it a lousy relationship, or do you have a lousy attitude? Hadn't thought of that. You know, it's life. I'm going to say life is easy and we make it difficult, or life is difficult and we have trouble making it easy. But we want to make sure that we're in a relationship, whether it's at work or in a romantic relationship, that makes us feel good. But on the other hand, sometimes we take everything personal. Patty was on, she does readings, and she was on a radio show, George Norrie, and they had 1 minute. Every caller and every caller inner, everyone that calls in had a minute, and at the end of the minute, boom, they were gone. But one of these people was like cried for a half an hour, whatever, ended up calling Patty after the show, which is amazing. And she took the call, and the woman was so upset. What is wrong with me? Even George Norrie cuts me off. I'm just must be a terrible person. You know, yes, he cut her off in 1 minute. He cut every other person off in 1 minute, because that was the constraint of the radio show. So that our lesson in that is that in whatever our personal relationship is, whether it's our work relationship, whether it's our personal love relationship, everything that happens that is an inconvenience to you is not pushed. It's not meant to be bad for you. I asked somebody that was coming to visit to get a corona test because I am of advanced age. My husband is more advanced. He's 86. It seems reasonable. Most people my age won't let anyone in the house. I'll let you in the house, but take a test. And someone took that personally, that was against her. Maybe we need to understand that other people have needs, other people have anxieties. Could you imagine how I would feel if I let somebody come into my house and something happened to my husband, that he contracted corona from that person? No. I can't have that happen. So when we talk about our relationships with other people, and we're concerned about how they are, and that they're not treating us nicely, or they're demanding, or they're just a pain in the neck or whatever, I think it's really important to understand that everything isn't about you. Oh my gosh, everything isn't. That should be that should be my next topic. Everything isn't about you. So people with a mask, they don't want to wear a mask because it's inconvenient, because it's taking away my rights. Wait a second. Everything isn't about you. And I think that if you can understand that, and then you're going to be able to distinguish between when you're just having a lousy attitude and when a relationship is lousy. So the relationship would be lousy if that person says, you're just incompetent, or why didn't you do this, or the food tastes lousy, or my mother did much better at cooking than you did. And sometimes that may be true, and that's okay, because we don't have to compete with each other. We are our own individual person, lousy cook or good cook. I don't have a great voice. It's okay, but I don't practice it enough. So when I sing happy birthday, it isn't necessarily on key. I just want to get you ready for that in case I have to sing you happy birthday. I sang happy anniversary to a friend. It was closer to on key than usual. But I didn't put it on Facebook Live because I didn't want to burden the whole world with it. So we all don't have to be perfect at everything. In fact, it's our job to learn. It's our job to learn to be imperfect. It's our job to learn to be imperfect. Well, okay, let me take that back. I don't think any of us have to learn how to be imperfect. Somehow we're born with that ability to be imperfect. The first step we take as a little toddler is that we fall. So the first things we do, like every new thing, we don't do perfectly. But we have to understand that that's a part of being alive. That's a part of being human. And as adorable as that is in that toddler, look how sweet it is when they get up and they fall. But hey, notice they get up and they fall again, they get up and they fall again, they get up and they don't fall. And they come all the way to you and they haven't fallen. That's how we are. That's how we are as adults. We get up and we fall, we get up and we fall, we get up and we get there. And if we can accept that in ourselves, then when our relationship isn't perfect, we don't blame it on the other person. And we don't blame it on ourselves, but we take responsibility. We say, well, am I not being grateful for the good parts of this? And then work at being grateful. Then take every day, say, one good thing about my marriage, one good thing about my job, one good thing about this boss is. And maybe you need to write it down. Or you can just write it on your hand. Or you can put it on the computer. It doesn't matter. Except that it's very, writing it down, of course, ensures that it's not a thought that just flies by, but it's a thought that sinks in and that you pay attention to yourself when you think that thought. We have some thoughts that we need to not pay attention to, but there are those that we need to pay attention to. And that's, a lot of people say, write it down. I don't get pushy about it, but because I don't always write it down, but I do write down a lot of things, and they And then I need to put them where I can see them and read them. That's the other thing. But do whatever makes an imprint in you, and be grateful for those pieces of thing in yourself and in your partner and in anybody else. That's good. Okay, this is terrible, that's terrible, or there's a list, terrible, this is what's good. And you can do that with your political party, with the other party. The other party, whatever that is for you, the other party is awful, 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 but there's this one thing. And back at you, back. The other party is awful, 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 but there's this one thing that they have right. Because that's always going to be true. None of us are perfect, but none of us are complete washouts. Even all of us have something. And most of us that are in the middle, most of us that aren't the horriblest, we haven't killed 97 people, and we're not Mother Teresa. We're just, that, what do they call it, the unwashed? I don't know. I happen to be washed, thank you. But those of us in the middle that aren't either extreme, we are imperfect but human, and we are, each one of us, lovable and deserving of love. What's important about what I just said is that person that's imperfect but warm and loving and deserving of love is you. It's me. It's all of us. We have to start. Everything starts from the beginning. And you are the beginning of every piece of your life. So start from the beginning and understand and respect and have compassion and understand that you are an integral, wonderful person. When you have that kind of compassion, hi sunshine, when you have that kind of compassion for yourself, now you can give that to other people. Then when you see other people are just you, only their version. So they're imperfect, they've made mistakes, they didn't take out the trash, or they said my mother's spaghetti is better. Whatever mistake they made, they're doing their best. And if you have that feeling about it, and yet somebody keeps at you somehow and keeps saying nasty, nasty, nasty things, then it's all about them. It has nothing to do with you, and get out of there. Because you don't deserve to be in a situation where somebody's banging on your head saying nasty things. People can be mean to you without touching you. Sometimes that's the part of the meanness, actually. So what am I saying? I'm saying if it's to figure out if it's a lousy relationship or your lousy attitude, you have to start with respect and understanding and having compassion for yourself. When you have that, you can give it to somebody else. When you can then see, I'm not perfect, but I'm moving forward. This person's not perfect, but they're moving forward. Then you can be understanding, and you can have a relationship with that person. But it also then gives you the ability to determine if that other person is just another different kind of you, or if that person really is damaged enough that they continue to say mean things and mean things and mean things, then you can't fix that person. I know it's so tempting because when they're nice, they seem so nice, but you can't fix that person. But you can take care of yourself. And how do you take care of yourself? Figure out how to get out of there and take your kids. Whether it's alcohol that does it, or drugs that does it, or just damage, psychological damage to that person that does it. Be able to tell the difference between you being testy and them being damaged. And if they're damaged, wish them well and get out. So, I don't want to end on that kind of, I don't want to end like that. But, so I'll end with, you have the intelligence, you have the integrity, you have the goodness to be able to see yourself, to acknowledge, you're not perfect. This works, but that doesn't. I'm working on this, and the other you'll have to deal with, because some perfects we try to fix, and some we just give up on. It's just part of the package. We're all part. We have our own package. So as long as you understand that, and you give that ability to somebody else, then you can set limits. And you can say, okay, you can do this, but you can't do that. And that's powerful. That's powerful. And you're also doing the other person a favor, because it's no favor to him that or her that they get away with being mean. That's not that you're not doing them any favors. So you've learned to honor yourself, have compassion, honor every other person, have compassion, and set your boundaries. And then you'll know that it's not a lousy relationship, because I got out of that one. And I don't have a lousy attitude, so all I'm left with is good relationships. So anyway, I want to say that Patty and I are doing the Science and Magic. No, it's the Magic and Science of Love. I'm terrible at memorizing anything. 3 secrets to finding the perfect partner for you. Now, I just said we're all imperfect. And it's true. The partner you find will not be perfect, but that partner will be the perfect partner for you. And that can be exciting. So anyway, we're doing it on November 9th, 16th, and 23rd. There are 3 Mondays in a row in November. If you're interested, check out my website. You can go to relationshipmiracleworker.com/workshop. And, or, we're all over social media. So check it out. And I look forward to seeing you next Thursday at noon, at 11 with Patty, at noon with Merle's Pearls of Wisdom. Have a great day. Have a great week. Remember, you're not perfect, but you're fabulous. Isn't that's what we need to know. We are all imperfect, but fabulous. Have a great week. Bye.